Identifying.
Standby one. Let's go. Let's go.
You're about to experience the uncensored conversations, stimulating wit, and the thought-provoking wisdom. Bold, raw, and uncut. Right now, on the LanceScurv Show.
Welcome to the LanceScurv Show. And we are meeting or talking for the first time because we've done some phone tag for like how many years now?
Oh my God, it seems like 18.
That's crazy. enough to have a child and have the child get through high school and go to college, right?
Both of my kids are already through college.
That's crazy. Yeah, but
waiting on you know.
But wait a second. Exactly, you found the blog, and you say the title. If you could remember it.
I did find the blog.
But how did you find it, if I may ask?
Because I Googled bottom bitch.
Okay. So what made you Google that? I mean, that's a common term in the street, but like what prompted you to Google that?
Because me and my ex, we had a conversation, and he was trying to tell me that, you know, I was going to be in his life forever, and I said, no, it's not that way. And he was like, you're my bottom bitch. And I was like, what the fuck?
But you never heard the term before?
No, 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 I've heard of, you know, a ride or die chick, but not bottom bit, you know. No girl, who wants to be called bit, you know?
Right, right.
When you're not in the bedroom, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Oh, okay. That's a hint.
My bad. That's another topic. No.
Hair pulled.
So, we got off the phone, and I was like, okay, I want to see what this is really, what this means. And because he was always the one that if I would ask him, hey, what does that mean? He would be like, well, you're a white girl, you don't need to know. So I was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do what I usually do.
And he probably said to himself, she's a white girl, she will find out.
Okay, for real. I mean, right. I mean, you know, we are the ones that will go, okay, who do we need to write a letter to? You know?
Exactly.
But, and so the first thing on my search engine that popped up was your deal. And I was like, okay, this is coming from a guy. It's probably going to be really self-explanatory. And so...
So it was the number one thing that popped up?
Yeah, it was the first one that popped up on my search engine.
Wow. I did that. Yeah. I did that one like so many years ago, like 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago.
Yeah,
I wrote that piece.
I saw that. I was like, oh, because whenever I sent you the email, I was like, oh my God, he probably won't even. He's probably, you know, there's no telling where he's at by now. Probably got 15 kids or whatever. No, I'm joking. And probably forgot that he even wrote that. No, and so, and I was really shocked because I was sitting here on the couch and you had responded, and I was like, wow, that's really cool.
Wow, yeah, but I mean that's what I do. But then again, with so many years going by, there are many people who do blogging or videos or different stuff, and it's like they cash out, they just give up because it's not easy. But that was a very popular topic. I did a talk show about that. I did some videos in the street about it, and of course I wrote that blog, and that's one of my more popular blogs. So, you know, written articles. So it's still out there, and I took a lot of detail in writing that to kind of explain it, because there were so many people that I heard in the past when that subject came up that they had, first of all, different definitions or an understanding on a different level what it was. They got so caught up in the word bitch that, you know, and then the street terminology, and then probably something to do with prostitution or something abusive, or, you know, don't call me that type thing. So I took my time from my vantage point. I'm not saying that what I said was law, but I think I kind of made several explanations that made it clear. And you know, so how did you feel after that? I mean, like when you read it, like what were you feeling?
That the bottom bitch is really the top bitch. I mean, that's what I got from it.
And the first shall be last, and the last shall be first.
Right. And it's like a ride or die chick, the extra.
But on steroids.
You can see, like,
on nitrous.
See, I'm an overachiever, so I looked at it as a ride or die chick plus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was like, okay, now that would be my type of shit because I'm an overachiever, you know.
Right.
So.
No, but see, I've had actual.
It explained it really a lot, but you know, and I had to, you know, let him know that, you know, I really, you know, there's a reason why we broke up. There's a reason why you're my ex. You know, if you were feeling this way, then you should have let me know.
Right.
You should have shown what I had been wanting you to show that you didn't show, and then you were showing someone else while I was working.
Right.
So, you know, and I come home and find y'all in my bed. You know.
Oh my God! Wait a second. So you can't. But I don't understand. Before we even get into that, I don't understand. Like, a man is cheating. And what is it, an extra thrill when he's in the bed? I mean, okay, you were together and living together, correct?
Yes, we were living together. We were living in his house. It was actually his house.
But still, it doesn't matter whose house. You're the woman.
I was paying the bills. I was cooking. I was cleaning.
Right, you're the woman of the house. And sorry to sound street, but he's laying the pipe to you, and you're taking care of him. You know, he's pulling your hair. He's calling you BITCH behind closed doors. I understand. That's a very popular thing. You know what I mean? So, like I said, come on. Like, I don't care. You're doing all of that. Show you the respect. So he brings this. Look, I'm not even saying there's different degrees of it. Cheating is cheating, but not the bed, not there.
Thank you. Exactly.
You know, even if you bring the person inside,
handled it if it was anywhere else.
Right, because you see, you have a different relationship with that bed. It's not just we're in there having sex. This is where you sleep. This is where you drool and, you know, pass gas and rest and whatever, you know. And when you have sex, don't bring the person there.
Yeah,
you know.
Thank you.
And let me tell you something. I've heard of women, and I've known women in the past who have shared things with me that they were the other woman. And you know what? Even though they were the other woman, and even though some of them went to the house where that wife or girlfriend lived, they said, no. Yeah. I can't do this in her bed. No, that's a death sentence. I'll go straight to hell.
She claimed to be my friend.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
Did you meet?
I mean, we're talking the girl, we had gone shopping together. Her and her boyfriend had been at our house for dinner. Oh,
wow. So wait. Did you meet her on your own? Was that a friend before you got in a relationship with your ex, or is this someone that you met through your ex?
I met through him. Yeah.
Oh, see, so that's shady. I'm not saying just because of that, but that's shady.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, I totally agree. You know.
Uh-huh.
And then he was whenever, because I had come home from work early because I was sick. And at that time, I was working at, I hadn't too long been out of the Army, and I was working at Tyson in Broken Bow, Oklahoma at the slaughterhouse.
Right.
And so I had gotten sick, and so they sent me home, and something told me to not call home. Don't call him and tell him you're on your way. And I'm just, you know, and when I turned that corner...
Is that something that you always did?
That hooker's car.
You always called home? Like if you had to come home?
I would call him and I'd be like, hey, you know, I'm sick and they're sending me home. But that night I didn't.
So you saw the hooker's car?
And I swear, that chick, she left that. I have never fought in my life, except, well, I don't count the, you know, Iraq and Afghanistan. But I have never fought a girl.
Right.
But I swear to God, that girl, she was drugged down the hall of our house. She went outside with no clothes on, and she goes, can I get dressed? I said, here's your clothes.
Oh, I should have had my camera that day.
In the yard. Then I turned to him, and I said, now, this is what is going to happen. I am leaving, just so you know. And he was like, oh, no, you mean we can't talk about it? You always said that everything is... This right here is not...
Right. That's something that's off the scale.
Mm-hmm.
That's a sin that you just can't come back from. That's you don't even have to mention that. And in the bed. So it makes me wonder, how long have they been doing this? Were they doing this before you met her as a friend?
Right.
Was she an old fling or girlfriend
and I know it couldn't have been because of something I said, because I don't kiss and tell. Like, you know, you can have 15 inches, and my girlfriends were never going to know about it.
Right.
You're breaking my back in the bed. They're not going to know about it.
Right.
Why? Because they're women. They're just like me. They're going to be
penis so long that you're burping penis when you have intercourse.
Sir?
I said a penis so long that you're burping penis when you have intercourse. It just like comes up to the other.
And, you know, because, I mean, they're going to be like, oh, well, I need to try this, you know. So that I don't talk about stuff like that to my friends, and that pisses them off. But hey, you know, I don't
because they want to know.
I cared what people thought.
Yeah.
If I cared what people thought or how people felt, I would not have had black children. I mean,
right. Especially in the South, you know, because down here.
Thank you.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, anywhere in the country, but especially down here.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Dallas, Texas, but I am now in Oklahoma City. But oh yeah.
So how is the racism there? We're gonna get back on, but it's really bad there. I mean,
the town where my ex is, where I used to live in Idabel, Oklahoma, it is very. I mean, I lost 2 jobs because he was black.
Oh God.
I got one of the nurses at a nursing home in Hugo, Oklahoma, fired because she told me I was going to hell because I have black children.
Wow.
So I had to, her Bible thumping self, I had to show her that, hey, I don't have a Bible in my hand, but guess what, honey? The Bible is full of interracial relationships.
Right.
And so, and I told her of 3 of them, and I told her, I said, and you know what? I said, you're probably gonna, oh my God, when I tell you this, woman, but how do they describe Jesus in the Bible?
Right.
They say hair like wool. I said, and I have very long hair, and so I raised it up. I said, does this look like wool? No. Whose hair looks like wool? Whose hair is coarse? I wonder, could it be black?
Right.
She was like, oh my God, you said. I was like, yeah. I said it. I said, yeah. And, you know, and she did, and so, and I said, and when I get up from this table, just know I got your job. And she was like, what? I said, I can show you better than I could tell you. And, I said, because, you know, evidently you don't understand English. I said, and I mean, at that point I was pissed. I was saying anything. And so I went straight to the director of nursing, and I said, this bitch right here said that I'm going to hell because my kids are black.
Wow.
And she was like, are you serious? I said, yes, I am very serious. I said, there was another nurse's aide that was in there, and it was, you know, she was a black girl, and me and her were really good friends. And I said, Shanika was in there. You can ask her. And so she did. She went and asked her, and she was like, yeah. She just said, Susie, I just want you to know that you're going to go to hell. And and she goes, and Susie said, why? And the nurse goes, because your kids are black.
Wow. But
yeah,
like something so blatant like that. I mean, and yet she's thumping the Bible, which, you know, should be all about love and everything like that. But she's that way. I've always wondered, like, from my side of things, and like I said, being human, you know, but we have different races. We have different things in culture: north, south, black, white, rich, poor, educated, not educated. There's so many ways to look at things in different perspectives and angles. But from this angle and the whole black-white thing, I've always wondered, like, for the people who are racist, the conversations they have, not behind closed doors when there were no black people around. And like, for the folks who, like yourself, who was verbally attacked this way from her, and you stood up to her and you put her in her place, I wonder how many people may not have had your courage, you know, to be able to say, hey, this is what it is.
There's a lot, because a lot of, I'm going to say white girls, because I can't speak for white boys.
Right. We're speaking in general. I understand what you mean.
Their family raises them to hate. Their family raises them to believe that, okay, you don't mix with another race at all whatsoever. If you do, we're going to disown you. Okay, well, my family, thank God, my family, my dad and my mom made sure, from as far back as I can remember, my dad always telling me, everybody is equal. We are no better than anybody else. Nobody else is any better than us. And my dad is also the one who taught me about the Confederate flag and what it actually meant.
Right.
And he had, encyclopedia, because, back then, in the 1800s, when I was born, they didn't have the internet.
You said when you were born.
Right.
Well, let me know what you're eating to be able to live so long.
Oxtail, turkey neck. But no. And so, and my dad, we would be driving, and I remember being 7 years old, riding in the truck with my dad, and I said, Dad, there's one of them flags that you told me was about hating black people and wanting to burn them and putting crosses in their yards and all this. And he said, yes. And at that time, the girl that I was,
right.
I was like, I wanted to fix everything. I was like, well, why don't we, because, we lived in Texas and everything's bigger in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just take all of the people that hate and are prejudiced, take them to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, and I will tell them, look, we do not need to be hating. And my dad was like, he looked at me, he goes, that is really sweet. He said, but I want to tell you, not everybody, and you will see, not everybody will have a heart like you.
Right.
And, my dad said that he knew from, like, when I was in kindergarten that I was never going to be with a white man. And I've never been with a white man. Never will, never have. And, I'm not the typical white girl. I have a big ass. I have big hips. I have big thighs. I even had them before I even had kids.
Wow.
It's the reason why I tried out for the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Didn't make it. Why? My ass was too big for the shorts.
Well, for the purpose of the listeners who are going to hear this conversation, scurvmedia@gmail.com is where you can forward the photos, and I'll put them up in the graphic. I'm just playing with you.
Whatever.
No, but like,
you're gonna have me coming and hunting you down.
I already played phone tag with you for so long, right? Falling asleep here and falling asleep there. Yeah, it hits me hard.
I don't post pictures on Facebook, and I put this one thing up, and it started a controversy, and I got locked out of Facebook for it. And all it said was, ain't no booty like a big girl booty, because a big girl's booty bounced back. I did not comment. I did not say that. I just posted it. And this guy had commented. He was like, do you have a big ass? I said, yes. He said, can I see? I said, no. You can take my word for it. And I got blocked out of I got locked out of Facebook for months because of that. Yes. And I was just like, okay, why did that get taken off, but yet my friend who he's pro-black, of course, he posted a picture of a black guy shooting a white person, and the blood, and you could in the picture, the blood splattering all over the picture. That got to stay.
Wow.
So, yeah, and I was just like, okay, mine wasn't, the only thing is it was a black background with white letters, but, I mean, I don't know if the person on, and I was just like, it really didn't matter to me because Facebook is just Facebook. I don't really care. I could take it or leave it. I mean, I'm not on there every day. Like some people
right.
are on there all day, every day. Like my sister,
That's
she
ridiculous.
just blocked me because I pissed her off because she posts something every 5 minutes with a picture. And I said, okay, one, you look just like you did 5 minutes ago when you posted the other picture. I said, and two, I'm sitting here, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm sitting here just waiting for you to say that you went to shit and, because that's the only thing you haven't posted. And she's like, oh, you're such a bitch, and blocked me. And I was like, you know what? The more people that block me, the better. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, Facebook to me is like it's a drug. It's like a drug.
Yeah.
For me, it's a business thing. It's like a thing that I use to push things out. But more and more, I'm kind of getting away from social media. I mean, I have to be in it because I just started a new platform on top of what I do. I'll reveal that to most of the world in a couple of weeks as I build it up. And you have to have these days your Twitter, your YouTube, your Instagram, your Facebook. But, oh, God, I mean, if I wasn't on this promoting a platform,
I would have never found you.
Right. We exactly. But I'm just saying, like, you're funny. You're real funny. But I'm saying, you're right. No, the blog was out there. They had nothing to do with Facebook. But
that's not fair.
No, but the thing is, like, I'm watching this thing. Not everybody, but I'm watching it take energy from the lives of people that are just too old for this. I mean, you're not too old to experience new things in life. Don't get me wrong, but it's like me, I'm 54 years old. So why would I be on here arguing with people, listening to what people say and getting mad at it and going back and forth? I'm trying to get my feet in the sand at the beach somewhere. You know what I mean? I'm trying to live life.
Them people that are arguing with you, if you were in their face, they'd be mute. They wouldn't know they wouldn't be able to say anything.
Right, but it's a waste of energy because I'm all about producing something every single day on a positive level. That and then you leave it alone. You go live life. My thing is, if you're not living life, if you're stuck in front of a keyboard and that's your life the majority of the time, then you're missing out on real life because this is like. It's like a baby. It's like a pacifier for a baby. You're sucking and there's no milk coming through. You know what I mean? You're not getting anything out of it.
I had a major thing happen to me, and I made it a point to not put it on Facebook because I'm like, who cares? I don't know these people. Well, my sister took it upon herself to blast it all over Facebook.
Oh, God.
Okay, and I'm like, okay, if I had wanted everybody to know, then I would have told everybody, And so I had posted, you can't tell certain people things because they are like 411 and a AT&T operator. They got to tell it all. They got to tell it to everybody. Add shit, take shit. And she was like, was that towards me? Okay. If you felt it was, then yes, it was. And it just, it just really pissed me off. And so, but I mean, I had just moved up here and just got the job at Home Depot, and I was walking home from work at night because right now I don't have a car because I'd been taking care of my mom for the last 3 years, and then she passed away, and I didn't need a car while I was taking care of her, and the engine blew because the blonde I'm redhead, but my dad swears I'm blonde because I have blonde moments like you wouldn't believe. I drove my car for 17 days with the oil light on. I know.
Uh-oh. You were asking for it.
And then I'm like, Dad, my engine blew. And he was like, well, yeah, that's what happens. And so, taking care of my mom, I didn't need a car because I was there with her 24/7 until she passed away. And so I was walking home from work one night and I was attacked. And so I had, in confidence, told my sister, it's like you want to, who do you think you can tell things to? Your sister should be the one that will keep your confidence and not run and tell. Well, she ran and tell and, was like poking fun, found this little meme or whatever you call it. And I mean, she was making fun. And so I told her that you just better be glad that I'm not right there with you because I would probably kill you. And, but so I'm like, not everything needs to go on Facebook. I mean, my sister, she's posted, okay, I'm annoyed at this person. Who cares? We don't care. I don't. And I know if I don't, surely the people that don't know you, they really don't. And and I'm like, and she's like, well, you don't ever post pictures. I don't need to. People know what I look like.
Yeah, but me, I'm getting into my reclusive hermit phase. I've been a public type person all my life, always the life of the party, always, doing flamboyant things, crazy things, and online name out there so much. But right now,
dancing on the pole, dancing on the ball. Yeah.
You must be psychic. But anyway, but the thing is, like, right now, I'm like, and I see now, it's funny because I've been there, done that on a whole social media level and met so many people, a lot of nice people, a lot of weird people. I got to admit that. And a lot of people that I didn't know were weird, but were weird all along. Right. So right now, it's just like I'm coasting, and it's really not important to me to be like my name out there or my face out there. I'm cool, It's like coming to a halt in a way. I do it, but
you get asked for to show your boobs and your hoo-ha and all that.
Yeah, tell me what you go through as a woman. Be raw and tell it like it is. What is it that you go through?
I swear, that Facebook shit, you don't even have to be in one of them X-rated groups or anything. That people will just pop up in your inbox, and thank God for notifications, because it'll be Joe Schmo sent a video. Okay, I automatically know it is a video of him masturbating that I really don't want to see you masturbating to your little bitty dick.
So, I mean, this has happened to you more than once?
Oh, daily. We're talking daily. Yes,
oh, my God.
Daily. And it's people that I don't even know. And, I've even gotten, from a guy in Ghana, I have been propositioned to be his wife.
I want you to marry me so I can come over there and get the citizenship.
And I'm just like, please. And so, but I'm like, and then a little bit later, you'll get like a notification, Joe Schmo sent a picture. Okay, I know exactly what it is. It's a picture of his dick. Or a picture of what he wished his dick looked like.
Oh, somebody else's picture.
Yes, I've heard that happening too. And I had a girl, I had posted a picture of just my face, and this girl had taken it, and she was me, supposedly.
Oh,
so
God.
I don't post pictures.
She jacked your profile.
Videos. Yeah, and I'm just like, why are you posting these pictures? Okay, do you really need that attention? For that kind of attention? I'm like, even whenever I did go to clubs, I didn't get out on the floor and shake my ass. Can I? Yes. Did I? No. I didn't want that type of attention.
Right.
And I'm like, if a guy is good, I've always been, if a guy is going to notice me, he's going to notice me whether I'm shaking my ass in his face or if I'm sitting off in the corner drinking my beer by myself.
But doesn't it make you, like, when you see these type of pictures coming at you from these random guys? Okay, before Facebook,
I don't even look at them anymore. I just delete.
But like, okay, like, do they approach this way in person? Like, have you had experiences that were from men that were too forward, like, or has social media made men like crazy this way because they can hide and still do this stuff?
See, I have a rule. If you come at me and the first thing out of your mouth is, "Damn, baby, you got a big ass."
Wait a second. You just said in one sentence, you said the word ass, mouth, and cum. You got to be careful how you make these words. I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
You need to stop. But if you come at me and see, now you got me thinking about what I said.
It depends how you spelled it. It could be COME or CUM. I mean, but I know what you mean. I'm just messing with you.
You know what, Mr. Lynn? No, I'm just giving you a hard time. No, but and the first thing you say to me is, "Damn, baby, you got a big ass for a white girl," or "That's a nice ass," or "Damn, that's fat," or you say, "Can I touch it to see if it's real?" Yes, I've had that. That's where it ends. It's done. I automatically, and if your eyes do not meet mine and all they do is stay on my ass, that you're done. You might as well just turn around and walk off.
But there must be women who go for that, though. For them to be so brazen.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to be bold, yes, but to me, when the first thing that comes out of your mouth has something to do with my ass, that lets me know what you want from me.
Right.
You don't want to get to know me as a person. You don't want to get to know, that I'm really retarded. You don't want to get to know that.
No, but if you were retarded, a lot of these guys wouldn't mind because all they want to do is get the physical. It's like they don't care about the mind, the emotions, what you're about, what you're into. It's like masturbation. They're just using your body instead of their hand.
Yeah, and it's like, but my favorite one is, "Can I touch it to see if it's real?" And then he hated my response to him.
What did you say?
I said, "If you are a man and you like women, you should be able to look at my ass and tell that it's real. You shouldn't have to touch it." And he just went, he was like, "Huh?" I said, "And if that was lost with you, that lets me know where your IQ is, and we really aren't going to be compatible."
Wow. Well, you should have told him, "Hey, I'll let you touch it to see if it's real if you pull out your penis and let me take this knife and cut it to see if it's real and it bleeds."
There you go. See? Where were you last week when that happened at my job?
Oh, they bother you on your job like that too?
Customers, that's one of the reasons why I chose to do overnight freight.
Okay, so they'll leave you alone.
I mean, I've never liked the attention. I mean, I don't know how many exercises I have tried to do to lose, but it don't go nowhere.
Uh-oh.
Never has. And the more I try to hide it, the more I try to get rid of it, the more it's there.
You remind me of this porn star that I met many years ago, and I think no, seriously, I think it was back in 87, 88. I think it was like around 87, 88, and I was in Greenwich Village in Manhattan, and I was kind of walking down 6th Avenue, and I was looking at these books. They used to have these guys who, I don't know where they get these books from, but New York is a busy place, and it's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and these guys have these books laid out near the curb, magazines, old books, and it's interesting because you'd find some real gems there. So, before you end up heading on home, if you hung out a little bit or went to a restaurant, it's in the wee hours, you pass through there and see if you can find something that will appeal to you. So we would always go and browse over the books and stuff. So I'm sitting there looking at the books, and I look up and I see this woman in a tracksuit, and there's a white woman in this tight tracksuit, and I looked at her and I saw the side of her face, and I told my girlfriend at the time, I said, "Oh my God, that's Nina Hartley." So Nina Hartley is a white woman who basically has, what is known as a black woman's backside. We're not general, we're just talking adult, and she really, really does. And I've known her from before I met her physically because the movies that we would see. We say, well, that's Nina Hartley.
And she's one of few that her ass is actually real.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you know her.
I've seen pictures of her. Yeah.
Oh, you told on yourself. But anyway, wait a second. I'm not supposed to ask a woman's age, but
pictures I've seen.
I'm taking it that you're a little younger than me, right?
Yes, I am 43. I'll be 44 in July.
Oh, you're a baby. So yeah, but Nina Hartley's very popular, and people that they're going to be Googling her now. There's going to be a spike when they hear this in Nina Hartley searches.
They're going to be shocked when they hear that Iggy Azalea's ass is fake. Nicki Minaj is fake.
Of course. But Nina Hartley's is real. So I walked.
You can look at that and tell.
Yeah, I walked up to this woman. I walked up to her, and she turned around and she says, "Oh, you're probably looking at my backside." I said, "Well, I saw that, but I saw the side of your face, and I know who you are. I'm sorry if I'm too forward, but I just had to come and say hi and just meet you." So she turned around and hugged me. She says, "Oh, thank you. Yeah. One of my adoring fans." And so she was there with a woman who I believe she was sleeping with also, who kind of came off very butchy and standoffish. So anyway, Nina, who's known to be a swinger in real life because her husband and her do those kind of activities, she was like, "Oh my God," to my old girlfriend, "he's so gorgeous. He's so cute. Can I give him, my number?" She said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, dag," So she pulled out a card and gave me her number. And I lost the card, but I actually at one point called the number days later, and it was real. I got to an answer machine. Back in those days it was answer machines. Yeah. So
right.
And I lost the card, and that was a good thing. That wouldn't have been good if she picked up. So It was just amazing because she said the one thing she said, "Oh God, somewhere in the South," because she's from the South. I forgot what part, but she said somewhere in the South there's a black girl who's walking around with a flat backside because God gave me her butt. And I mean, she wasn't even being like nasty or funny. It was just light humor, and that's her spirit. Yeah. So we laughed. We were laughing about that. Hugged again, and kept it moving. But yeah, that's.
I mean, I laugh about it all the time. Like my dad, the day that I got turned down from the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders,
right?
My dad made it a point to be at home when I got there. He goes, "Okay." He goes, "I got to hear this." He goes, "Did you make it?" I said, "No." He goes, "Okay, why? Why?" He goes, "I bet I know why." I said, "I didn't make it because the lady said my ass was too big for the shorts." He goes, "I knew it." My dad, because my dad's always told me, the biggest thing about you, Susie, is your ass. The biggest thing about you is your butt.
Wow.
And he used to tell me that he was going to get me one of them 18-wheeler deals that goes, boop, 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 it's a wide load. I mean, it's not that big, but my dad, but yeah, not the typical white girl, but but I don't dress like I like black guys. I don't, dress like.
Oh, you mean to attract them because of your backside?
I'm just like, oh my God.
So how do the black men in your part of the world approach you or treat you? Is it a backside thing too?
Well, just like I told you, just like I said before, or they'll come up and they'll be like, "Hey, how you doing?" Sometime. It just depends. I mean, I don't go out to clubs,
right?
Because I did that when I was in my 20s, and I don't do that anymore. And with my schedule, it's kind of hard to keep. Well, as you can tell, it's hard to get a hold of me.
Right. Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah. Me and you both. We overworked our phones.
I work 10 o'clock at night to 5 in the morning. Sometimes I work till 6 in the morning. Sometimes I go in at 7 in the evening and work till 6 in the morning. I love my job. I love Home Depot. It's not a glamorous job, but hey, I love it, and it pays the bills.
There you go. That's the main thing that counts. Your bills are paid.
So I don't have to support them no more. Hallelujah! Thank you, Jesus. My daughter just got married 2 weeks ago, so yay!
Well, congratulations.
She's all now.
There you go. But yeah, it was interesting when you talked about, your fight when you found your ex in the bed with your friend. How are they getting along? Or is he seeing her now? Do you know anything what's going on?
No, we've been broke up for 5.5 years now, and he has been every day since then trying to get me to come back.
Right. Wow.
And I told him, there is no future in the past. There is a reason why I saw what I saw.
Right.
I was meant to see that because your lying ass wasn't going to tell me.
Exactly.
And steadily having this chick coming to my house, smiling in my face, and all this, and it's just like all the while she's in there fucking my man. Okay.
Wow.
Well, she can continue to because, and I told him, I said, if I come back to you, I said, I would be a fool. I said, one, because trust has totally went out the window that night.
Wow.
There is no way I could ever trust you again. I said, trust is like a broken glass. It may be put back together, but it will never be the same as it was. And I told him, I said, I would never be able to work a graveyard shift because then the only reason I do is because it's more money.
Right.
That's the only reason I do. And because of PTSD from being in Iraq and Afghanistan, and that's when we did our missions was at night.
Right.
So that we weren't seen. But and so I said, there's no way I could not leave the house and be like, I know he's not going to cheat on me. I said, you brought it to my bed. The bed I shared with you. No. I could say I would be a fool to go back to you. There's a reason we're broke up. There's a reason you're an ex. There's a reason I'm an ex. I said, and he's like, well, I had a good woman, and I was like, you shoulda, coulda, woulda. You shoulda knew when I was with you, you had a good woman. I said, I don't know many women that will sign over their income tax and say, hey, I don't want anything and I don't need anything, but if there's something you want, here, you go get it.
Wow.
Yeah, I did that. He wanted a car, a hot rod. I bought him 1980, I can't remember, 86 or 87, whatever, Monte Carlo Super Sport. I paid to have it restored to the original black with the orange stripe or whatever, red, or I don't know. I call it orange. I don't know. and I paid for all that. And, and I'm like, I don't know many women that would do that. And, especially in the town where he's at, where the women nowadays, it seems like they're all about me, what can this man do for me, and not what can we do together, but what can he do for me, and, and I've just, my mama didn't raise me like that, and I told him, I said, but I said, just, you need to go and find you somebody that's suitable for you, because evidently I am not suitable for you. You were not ready for me.
Right. And the world is so, and it's not even just a Facebook thing. Facebook, and I'm going to say it this way, is a spoon that kind of stirred it up even worse. But right now, more than ever before, I'm just seeing how many people in the world are just takers. What like you said, what can you do for me, or what can I get out of this person? Mm-hmm. And it would be nice if they just came out and said, hey, what can you do for me? But they don't.
I'm too giving. I know I am. I'm too kind. I'm too nice. I have too much of a soft heart. On the outside, I appear to be all hard and everything, but I'm really a softie. But I have over the years I have learned, you can't show that side to everybody.
Well, take it as weakness.
Is worthy to see that Susie has a kind heart. Susie is a soft heart. Susie will do for someone else before she would do for herself. Not everybody needs to see that,
Wow. That's, but it just right now you have to be very careful who you let in your space. And people can take years. They can scope something they want, whether it's your man, your money, And they can hate on you for different reasons. There's something that I read.
I'm up here in Oklahoma City with no family, none whatsoever. I moved away to get up here, away from my family. Too much drama. Too much, he said, I am, at that time, I was 42, and I'm like, look, people, I'm gone. And I did. They didn't believe me. They didn't think Susie would do it. Susie packed up all her shit and moved in the middle of the night when nobody was awake.
Right.
They didn't know. And then Susie went on Facebook because I know how my family is. I blocked all of my family. And anybody that knew my family blocked them all. They didn't know where I was for a good 9 months, except for my dad and my kids, of course.
Well, I had my account rigged. When someone unfriends me, it automatically blocks them. So it's like they're hanging themselves. Yeah. They'll unfriend you, but they don't want to come back and peek on you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And the funny part about it is there's a way to find out who's going up on your Facebook page, and it works. And it's just so funny to see these people who they'll see you in the street and not say anything to you, or they'll unfriend you and act like you don't exist, but they come on your page every day, like duh, or like they unfriend you, but they're friends with your kids, like these straight up weirdos. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like
creepy.
Sister, she was like, how come I didn't know that you were in Iraq and Afghanistan? I said, because your stupid self would have tried to have called somebody to see if I was okay. And I'm like, you can't do that. I mean, I joined the Army to get out of an abusive relationship because I could feel that the next step I was going to die. And I joined the Army with a broke nose and a fractured eye socket and bruises, all on my face. And still in basic training, getting letters from this idiot. And then he's brilliant. He's what I call brilliantly dumb. Okay, this girl is on a military base. Why are you going to send her a letter and on the envelope threaten her life?
Wow.
So mail call comes that night, and I didn't get email. I thought, oh well, okay, no big deal. No harm, no foul, no big deal. Because I'd gotten letters from my mom every day. I'm just like, yay, arrest from, are you okay? Are you eating? No, Mom, we don't eat. And then mail call came at final formation of the night, which was at 9:00. And, so we go up to our barracks and, we're supposed to be getting ready for bed, or whoever's got fire guard is supposed to be putting on their uniform and getting the M16 and all that shit ready. Well, over the intercom, and lucky for me, I think it was just a God thing. I had 3 black male drill sergeants.
Whoa.
So yeah, it was like my cup of tea. But anyway.
so I take it you like black men.
Yes, sir. My kids are black. Yes, sir.
How did I figure that out?
I don't know. You're a genius. No, I'm joking. You can read my mind. No, but anyway. And so over the loudspeaker, I hear, I need Private Tune to come to my office immediately and bring a battle buddy. That's what we call your friends in the military are your battle buddies. Well, unless you're in the Air Force, and then they're just your fellow cheerleaders. But anyway.
Right.
So me and this girl, my bunkmate, we go down to the drill sergeant's office, and he has this look on his face like he's ready to fight. And I mean, it's not the drill sergeant fight face. It's the, a man fight,
Right.
And he goes, who's Ray? And he said that as soon as he said his name, he goes, I'm not trying to be funny here, Private. He said, and at that time I was a private. He said, but you're white. He said, you just got whiter. He said, so tell me about this. He said, because I'm looking at a letter here, and he says that he's going to come on this base and get you. Wow. And I'm sitting there, I'm scared because, you know, I'm like, oh my God, he's really going to do this. You know, and I'm not thinking this is a military base, Susie, you're safe. I wasn't thinking that because he's found me every other time. Why wouldn't he be able to now? And so, you know, I said, he's my ex. And I said, and he tortures me, and he tortured me, locking me in closets for days at a time. I mean, and only opening the door far enough to throw a pitcher of water on me. I mean, it was horrible. I lived in fear every day. I didn't know what this day was going to hold, and waking up every morning to a 35 pointed at your nose, and him telling you, you know, I love doing this because I love the look of fear in your eyes, you know. And so I was like, okay, I need to get away because I could tell that I was going to die. I could tell that 2007 was going to be my last year. I could feel it. So, well, 2003 really, because I got out in 2007. But anyway, so 2003 was going to be my last year. So I was like, huh. And one of the Army recruiters, you know, had come to eat lunch at Taco Bell where I was working. Mm-hmm. And, you know, if we signed then, you get X amount of money. Because, I mean, hey, my platoon was one of the first ones to be in Afghanistan and Iraq in 2003. I was one of the first ones to be over there. And so my drill sergeant, he's standing there before me, and he goes, now, what you're going to do is when you write him back, I said, drill sergeant, please, I'm not writing him. He goes, oh, no, you are. He goes, what you're going to tell him is, you're going to tell him to come on. He said, because, Susie, he goes, I guarantee it. Before he even steps on this base, he goes, he's going to be dead. He said, you're at one of, because, I mean, my basic training was Fort Jackson. They have the most ammunition, it's everything. They have the drill sergeant school there. Everything is at Fort Jackson. And he goes, there is no way in hell he's going to touch you. He goes, but I will tell you this right now. He goes, I will guarantee you, when you leave here, you're going to be able to take him out yourself. Wow. And, I mean, I didn't realize that me joining that, I would find something that I was good at, that I loved. I was the first female to get expert marksmanship in basic training at Fort Jackson. I got a medal for that. Yeah. I did 4 years of the Army, 3 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. My third tour, I was going to come back and I was going to be airborne because I loved jumping out of an airplane. Oh, that was so much fun. but I got hurt. And so
I think that's something that you could really enjoy, but I'll watch. I'll stay on the ground.
I got hurt. I was, by my third tour, my 4th year, I was a sergeant. And I was doing fire guard, and one of my drill sergeants, actually the one that my dad claimed had a thing for me, because when we would go out to the firing range, because I'm left-handed and he was left-handed and there was no other left-handed people, so he would lay on top of me and position my body to get the the right aim, the right shot. And my dad was like, he goes, I could see him doing that 1 or 2 times, but every day, no. He just wanted to lay on top of your ass.
Mm-hmm.
But he was over there.
That was the goal.
And, huh?
I said that was the goal.
Right. And, I mean, we exchanged emails. And, you know, looking back, I got special treatment in basic training. Like whenever they would come and they were going to smoke the entire platoon, he would call me, Private Tune, I need you to come over here and do this. Then they would go and smoke the whole platoon. And he smuggled Starbucks into me one night, but but then he did smoke me. The one and only time I got smoked in basic training, I had told him, yeah, whatever. Never again did I do that. But when I got hurt in Iraq, I was doing fire guard, and which is you're standing on the top of a tower. You're just pacing back and forth, making sure none of the bad guys get in. Well, I didn't have to do it because I was a sergeant. I could have told, you know, anybody to do it. Hey, you go do that. But I was like, no big deal. I'll do it. Hey, I got it. So
you were a cool sergeant.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I was not going to tell anybody to do something that I wouldn't do myself. And so, the drill sergeant Wingfield, I'll never forget him. But he was my drill sergeant, and I still even called him drill sergeant, and we were the same rank by this time. And he was like, Sergeant, what are you doing? I said, drill sergeant. He goes, you know, you don't have to call me drill sergeant. I was like, I will never be able to not call you drill sergeant. And so he goes, I was like, I know. He goes, I know what you're doing. You're trying to show all of this up. He goes, I guess I'm going to have to do a fire guard here and there. And about, I would say, 30 minutes to 45 minutes later, a bomb went off nearby, and I fell off the tower.
Are you serious?
And broke my hip in 3 places. And that was about 3-ish in the morning over there, and about 3, 4, 5, 6, about 4 hours later, I was in Germany at the hospital, and my drill sergeant, his convoy had gone over an IED, and he had died. And when I came to, because, you know, I had to have surgery. 2, I mean, they had me on some good drugs. And,
so you were zooming?
Huh?
I said you were zooming.
Yes. Well, when I finally came to and I got a hold of a laptop, I had noticed, you know, that I hadn't gotten any emails from him. And even with us being over there in the same company and everything, you know, we still emailed. And but I hadn't gotten any, so I knew that he had passed away. I just didn't know how. But I mean, and I was like, I was supposed to be in that convoy because, you know, we were going back to Afghanistan, and so, but to end our tour, we were going to go back to Afghanistan. And then I was going home, and then I was going to Fort Bragg so I could do paratrooper school. But so I was, and he didn't have any family. The Army was his family. The recruits were his kids, and, you know, all that. But, you know, it was kind of sad, but I was like, okay, so you got to suck it up. You know, you're a soldier. You've killed people. You've seen people be killed. You know, you've had to pull your Humvee over on the side of the road because your Humvee just got shot up. You didn't get shot, but your battle buddy sitting in the passenger seat did, and you got to get him out of the car so you can go on and get the rest of the bad guys or whatever. And but yeah, But yeah, I didn't want to come home. I did not want to come home at all. And then when my hero, Chris Kyle, he had done some interviews, and he was explaining what it's like for a soldier to be over there for so long. Because, I mean, oh my God, at first, we were over there for so long. My first tour, I left basic training and went straight to Iraq. I mean, December 24th, 2003, my feet were in Afghanistan. And I was there for 19 months, my first tour. And people were like, well, where were you stationed? I was stationed in Iraq and Afghanistan because that's all I ever went to. I didn't go to school after basic training for the job I chose. I didn't go to school for it. I got on the job training. I mean, we were at war. You know, nobody went to school in 2003.
Right.
Everybody went straight over. We went straight over. It's like I was one of the first ones. And but I will tell you, there was I could feel it, a big difference when the evil doer, George W. Bush, left office and my president, Obama, became president. Oh my God, there was a big difference because George W. Bush, one, he wouldn't let us have care packages. He wouldn't let us Skype home. So for 19 months, my mom had no idea what was going on.
So you were isolated.
Yes, he had us isolated, and all the time that he is saying that he was over there with us, he was not. Those photos were rigged. The videos were rigged. I swear to God, he never once came over there. And they said that, like, oh, yeah, if you ever watch the movie Lone Survivor, there's a guy in there, and his name is Michael Murphy. He is the one who, his last words were to the company commander, thank you. He put his life in front of the three guys that were there with him. I mean, they took these four men and just dropped them in the middle of Afghanistan. Well, really where they were dropped at was in the middle of the Afghanistan army. I mean, excuse me. But Michael Murphy, I knew him. My first tour, we had been there for about a year. Mm-hmm. My first tour, he was there, and he was over me. Well, we were drinking vodka one night, taking vodka shots, and he was like, "Tim, come here. You can take a vodka shot with us." I was like, "Okay." Well, Tim did not get a vodka shot. Tim got rubbing alcohol shot.
Are you serious?
Yes. Oh my God. And Mr. Michael Murphy did that. Yes, he was. Oh yeah, he was known for his pranks. But anyway, and so the next day we're doing a mission, and oh my God, I'm sicker than anything. Well, guess what Toon did to Murphy's underwear? She put icy hot in there.
Oh, God.
I mean, and I'm not talking one pair. I'm talking every pair that was issued. He had icy hot. I mean, gobs of icy hot. And we always got dressed in the dark because, you know, we did all our shit at night. And so he didn't see it. But he sure did feel it.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, I mean, I knew him. And so, but now, when they're coming out and saying that all this stuff about Chris Kyle is not true, he lied. Okay, one, it's against his code to lie. And two, there is no way a Navy SEAL sworn to truthfulness is going to come out and write a book and lie about it, lie about everything. There's no way. But then again, I am biased. You know, he is my hero, so of course I'm not going to think that he lied. But, like, the only thing I saw in the movie American Sniper that was not true was the name of their top sniper in Iraq is not Mustafa. They don't know his name. They just made that name up. That's the only thing in that movie that was not true. I mean, I was there. That woman coming out with that under her leg. Oh my God, that happens. I mean, my first kill was a 9-year-old little girl.
Oh God. Tell me about that.
And I was in Iraq. I was in Afghanistan, was it 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour tops. And that was my first kill. And, you know, they dehumanize us by telling us they're not people. They are targets. Because, I mean, if you ever watch Chris Kyle's, any of his videos, any of his interviews, he's talking about targets. He's not talking about, you know, a white sheet of paper with a black guy on it. He is talking about a live human. Because they tell us, who gives a fuck if they have a family? They don't give a fuck that we have a family.
Right, right.
And I'm going to have to send you a video from YouTube of my company commander going off on the Iraqi police, but because we had lost 4 men that day, and I mean, and he tells them, he goes, "I've got women in my platoon that are more men than y'all," and we didn't realize at that point, because, you know, telling an American man he's a pussy and that there's women that are more man than him, okay, that's gonna pump him up. That's gonna do something to him. Well, to them, women are expendable. My company commander calling him a pussy, he didn't care. Mm-hmm. You know, because they would strap bombs to their women and send them to hug our men, and the bomb would go off. They would if they captured any of our soldiers, they would bring them out into the middle of the village, and we would have to watch them decapitate our men. So we didn't think nothing of it when we started blasting the song, "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor," because the bodies were about to hit the floor. And, I mean, we would, because we had to do something to get rid of their chants 3 times a day. At 6 o'clock in the morning, noon, and 6 o'clock at night, they would come over these intercoms throughout the village of these chants. We didn't know what they were saying. And so to keep, and they were evil people. I mean, the evilness that is over there, it just, I hope nobody over here in America ever has to see what we saw, or do what we had to do. I mean, we did that so that wouldn't come over here.
Right.
And and so to me, those chants were evil. It was, you know, it was evil. So I would start praying. I would sing a song, anything to not let that get into my spirit, because, oh no,
So
I was already doing evil.
Let me ask you a question. How do you feel now that there's been a bomb dropped on Afghanistan, and with the threat of nuclear war now hanging over our heads, or some type of retaliation? How does that make you feel, knowing what you know as a person who was out in the service?
I know my brothers that are over there, and I know the weapons that we have, they're really not ready. They are not ready for us. They really aren't. They are not ready for the war that Americans are about to win. They are not. They're not ready.
What about Russia and China compared to the United States?
I'm sorry?
Russia and China.
Yeah.
Do you think that these leaders would be so foolish to launch an all-out nuclear war knowing that it's going to destroy the world? I mean,
yes.
You think they're that stupid?
Trump is, yes. Trump, I don't know if you ever saw any of his commercials before he actually became, oh my God, I can't even say president and his name in the same sentence, but he does not like the military. He does not, in one of his little campaign deals, he said that the POWs, the prisoners of war, I'm going to try to say this without crying, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. The military is just so near and dear to my heart. It just, the POWs do not need to be found. They don't need to be captured. Mm-hmm. He feels that way. One, he does not know the military. He doesn't care about the military. And with us, and with my brothers, and I mean, because with this war, this made all the branches of the United States come together, and we were one. We were not the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. We were one. We were all brothers. Mm-hmm. I mean, I want to go, I need to go and get the tattoo, IGY6. I got your 6. That means I got your back. That means, I mean, if they were to say, hey, Susie, you know what? You can go back. You wouldn't have to tell me twice. I would be gone. Why? Because for my brother that's to the left and to the right of me, and for my family back home, I would rather go over there and do what I know how to do than for that shit, I'm sorry, but for that shit and those evil people to come over here. I got turned away at the hospital because, see, I don't get VA because they're trying, the U.S. government, they're so lovely. Mm-hmm. They are trying to say that I had a pre-existing condition that gave me weak bones. So I told the lady, and I wasn't really nice about it because, I mean, I had been in Afghanistan. I've been fighting with men. I was cussing worse than a sailor. I told her, I said, you look here, you little bitch. I said, because she told me that all y'all just need, that come back from over there, all y'all just need to suck it up. Oh, really? I told her, I said, you look here, you little bitch. I said, let's do that. Let's us soldiers, us military, suck it up. I said, but when that evilness and them people come over here, don't you dare once come looking for a military person to take care of you or to protect you, because you need to suck it up and take that bullet. And she was like, what? I said, yeah, because they're going to come over here. If we don't go over there and take care of them, they're going to come over here, mm-hmm. and they're going to kill us. Mm-hmm. And she was like, oh, like 9/11. And she didn't even want to get me started on 9/11.
Oh, wow.
About that inside job. But anyway, and it just...
Well, talk on a little bit, because it's interesting hearing a military person speak on that, because they have... The media puts it out there that, you know, the military is gung-ho behind what the government says, and there's no crossing that. So it's interesting to hear your feedback on that.
It was an inside job. Okay. And this goes all the way back to JFK. One of the highest ranking CIA people who set in motion JFK being shot was George Bush. There's a letter from J. Edgar Hoover naming George Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're fast forward years. Well, Prescott Bush, who is, I call him George Bush Sr., it was his father. Well,
Mm-hmm.
Prescott Bush worked for, I believe it was the Chase banks back in the day. Well, he also is the one who helped Hitler get a hold of whatever Hitler got a hold of with the Americans and all that, the federal banking system. Okay, so you have that. Then you have George Bush with his, with the JFK thing, and even you can watch the videos of his speeches where people were like, "Where were you the day JFK was shot?" I don't know. What was it? Okay, well then Daddy Bush, he creates this oil company in Texas, and well then his son becomes governor. Oh my God. He did not need to be no governor. He didn't need to be in politics. Okay, one, if you can't spell politics, you don't need to be in politics. And so, Osama bin Laden is here in the United States. Well, guess where he's working? He's working for Daddy Bush and his oil company.
Well, I'm saying like back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was 90s, and this was from the early 90s up until I don't even remember ever hearing him going back to Afghanistan, but he was in Pakistan when the SEAL Team 6 got him. So, but he was there. Okay. You know that this man is working for your dad. Okay. So, and I had one of the drill sergeants in my company, not my personal drill sergeant, but one in my company in basic training. Hey, he was stationed at the Pentagon during that time. Huh. So he saw all these memos going around. He saw everybody, he heard, okay, you need to call Building 3 and let them know that tomorrow they're going to take a holiday. Okay, why? Because that was the third building that collapsed. Why? That is where the United States CIA office is. So we got to get rid of all that information, that proves where the goat fucker is. So, and where is George W. Bush? He is out of school the morning of 9/11, out of school, reading a book about a damn frog.
You read about that?
You specifically see Andy, whatever his last name is, his main Secret Service person, come to him and whisper in his ear. If you look closely, there's a video on YouTube. You can see it plain as day. His lips say, it's done. He didn't have time. He wasn't there, standing there long enough to say, well, this building, okay. Then the evildoer that he is still sitting there, for another hour and a half reading the damn book about the goat or whatever it is. Actually, I think it was a goat because I kind of tied that together with the goat fuckers over there, and they really do fuck goats. But anyway.
Or maybe something in the occult,
Yeah. And so, not once does he get up. Because, okay, if you didn't know about it, why would you not get up and warn the American people? You would want to protect the American people. if you didn't know about it. And also, the day before, if everybody would calm down and think rationally and have an open mind and look at this one video of the stock market the day before. Everything from airplanes to let's see, Halliburton, which Dick Cheney was over or whatever. Mm-hmm. That stock went through the roof. Why? Because they are about to use drones. Okay, well, I don't know about as far as what hit the Twin Towers, but I can tell you I know exactly, and you can Google it, and you will see that I'm right. What hit the Pentagon and why there was no people and why there was no proof of a plane, but yet a plane hit it, because it was an Air Force Global Hawk. They are designed to fly above radar. Why? Because they are the Air Force's spies, as you would call it.
Right.
They're programmed to not be on radar. 2, they are designed, when they hit something, they disintegrate. That is why there's no proof. And there's no bodies, because there was no bodies on the drone. And if you're going to claim that a 747 hit the Pentagon, one, the Pentagon is has the most security cameras in the United States, other than the White House and the Capitol building. Those 3 buildings right there are secured. Okay, it's not on the surveillance camera of a plane hitting it. They lost it. They lost that tape, whatever. And 2, a 747 is definitely going to show up in a picture. I mean,
as big as it is, yes.
Okay, right. Okay, there's one video also. I'm going to have to send this one to you, because when I saw it, I was like, holy shit. But anyway, it's right after the first tower was hit, and the second one is supposedly about to be hit. Mm-hmm. The media they were used. Oh, they were used this day. That one plane is supposed to come, and you should see it go, in between the buildings, Well, you don't ever see it. They black it out and take you back and, oh yeah, now it hit. At that time, also, one of George W. Bush's cousins or nephews, I can't remember which.
Just as long as it's a Bush.
Was head of security for the Twin Towers. And those buildings would not have collapsed straight down if there was not any, I call it ammunition, but inside. They knew back in 1996 that they were going to kill millions of American citizens. Why? Because the Bushes are stupid and they like to piss people off. Well, when you piss people off overseas, they're going to come after you. So, I mean, billions of dollars were exchanged, and all of it was kept in George W. Bush's supposed secret files on the computer at the Pentagon. So that is why the supposed 747 hit that part of the Pentagon. And that is why the employees on that side were not at work that day because they knew. But yeah, and it's just, I don't know. It's just, my platoon, we were over there about 3 months, and we knew that we were not fighting for freedom. We were fighting for oil. We were fighting because George W. Bush and his dang daddy pissed them off.
I wonder how, you couldn't have been the only one thinking this way, because it's so obvious to you, so others, it had to be obvious to them. Were there anyone or any people alongside you when you served that were just like rejecting what you shared with me, or did you share that out there at that time?
I didn't share it with a lot of people until I heard people talking about it, because when I realized it, I was sitting there and I was like, holy fuck. Really? I mean, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, oh my God. They tried to brainwash the entire American people, and they pretty much did it. The Bushes. And then come to find out, the Bushes are also related to the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. But it's just, you know, and I'm sitting there going, oh my God. So whenever I was able to, whenever I had downtime, which when we were first over there, there was like weeks we would go without sleep, you know, because we were constantly fighting, constantly. It's like as soon as you get off the plane, as soon as you get off the chopper, and you could just sense the evil. You can feel it. You feel it in the air. You can see it on the people's faces. You know, the women, the children, you know, it's like women and children are dispensable unless you are a boy. Mm-hmm. If you are a boy, then you are bank. And the men believe that when they die, they will be rewarded with 72 virgins.
with a ghost penis.
So we would be walking through one village to another, and if it wasn't a long way, because if it was like if we were going from Iraq to Afghanistan, we had to be in our Humvees and all that, because it was too far to walk, and plus it was 130 degrees.
Right.
And you know, you could look up in the tree and you would see them. These men fucking goats. Why? Because goats are supposedly I just like a woman. It just sickens me. The thing, you know, and they wanted everything from us. You know, they wanted our ammunition. They wanted our weapons. They wanted our trucks. You know, they wanted everything from us. But like the video I'm going to send you about my company commander, they would not go 4 kilometers and kill. I mean, ISIS was 4 kilometers away from them. They would not go and do shit. But yet they didn't care about killing us, killing our. It was nothing for them to turn and blow one of us up.
Wow.
I mean, they got a hold, like my drill sergeant that passed away. He was over there in I think it was 2004. Yeah, 2004. And at that time, they could have our uniforms. You know, we would give them our uniform. And at that time, we were still eating out of a tent. We didn't have, you know, a chow hall. It was a tent at that time. And in the back of the chow hall was an Iraqi guy in one of our uniforms. So obviously, you know, everybody in there, he's an Army person. He's part of us. Well, little did they know, there was a bomb tied to his leg. And it was like, Drill Sergeant Wingfield had said that, he said he had gotten maybe 20 kilometers away from what we call the chow hall, and it blew up. But and so after that, our military uniform changed. That's when we got what we call the pea green, and they were not allowed to have our uniforms anymore. They were not, you know. We were supposed to be over there teaching them how to be a military, how to take care of your people, how to protect your people, how to protect your country. You know, they care more about the Quran and ISIS than they do about their own people. I mean, they are made to be in the Army there. They are not, it's not like, okay, I want to serve my country, you know, I want to do this. No, it's, okay, well, if your dad was so-and-so in the Army, okay, you're going to be in the Army no matter what. And their weapons, their weapons should, they just, when we were over there at first, their weapons should have just been, they should just say that they have BB guns and water guns, because that's pretty much what it was like compared to what we came with. I mean, they you know, we had, I mean, I had, my service pistol was a Glock 43. What I used when I was there, I used the M16 and the AR-15. Those were my weapons of choice. I loved the machine gun, but my little self, it made me fall back on my ass. So I didn't, you know, use that. And plus, I wasn't the gunner, so I didn't get the luxury of using the machine gun all the time. Even though I loved the sound of it. Oh, my God. And, I mean, we come with a tank helicopter. We called it the helitank. I mean, it's a tank and a helicopter. You know, we had that over there, and they thought that was a bad mamma jamma, and it was. It's like, fuck you and fuck anybody near you, because that thing can fly and it can go in the water. Oh shit! And the ammunition shoots all the way around. You don't know where it's coming from. That's my baby right there. Wow. But yeah, you know, we had that. We had strikers. I mean, everything. And they had trucks with no camper on the back. You know, and so we were there to try to help them, to show them, to teach them. Okay, well, they didn't want to be taught. Because,
but this kind of atmosphere, I'm surprised you still maintain the amount of your sanity that you have.
I mean, I have a little, talking about it is what helps me. Talking about it is what helps me. I mean, when I came back, you could not, like if I was asleep, as soon as you walk in that room, you better be saying, Susie, wake up, Susie, wake up. Don't just come in that room and touch me, because I'll be coming up swinging. You know, and like even now, I can't go and watch fireworks. I can't go. I can't watch fireworks. I cannot watch a real, true military movie like American Sniper, The Lone Survivor, 13 Hours, Zero Dark 30. I can't watch those by myself, because in at least one of those was somebody I knew, and it actually happened to them. Now, like, in Black Hawk Down, that's where this all started, was that movie, you know. But, like, I can't watch that because I know it's true, you know. Like, Saving Private Ryan, parts of it were true, parts of it was Hollywood. But the ones now, like Zero Dark 30, 13 Hours, The Lone Survivor, American Sniper. I at least in one of those, I knew at least one person. Well, except for American Sniper, I didn't know him. I was over there at the same time as him. We knew that the snipers were there because, I mean, when a building is totally gone and you're walking by it, I mean, we all look at each other like, yeah, we were here,
Right.
I mean, and we would. Oh, man, when we first got over there, shit, they couldn't tell us nothing. We were like, hey, America's here. Y'all better, straighten up. Or if not, I mean, because we would bust in doors. We didn't care who was in there. Everybody would die. We'd bust in the house, shoot them all. And that was our job. I've had guys to say, I can't go out with you because what if you get mad and you shoot me? Okay, one, that was my job. Two, that I don't do that anymore. I mean, and at first I had a hard time with it. And then, I went to my pastor who at that time, because I was in Dallas, was Bishop T.D. Jakes. And, I had gone to him and I was like, am I going to hell for murder? I said, because, I mean, I know. I mean,
you asked this of him personally?
How many confirmed kills I have, huh?
You got to him personally?
Yeah, well, I used to work for him.
Oh, okay.
I was his secretary, and that's the only reason I was able to get that close. But
he didn't try you, did he?
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
Sir? What did you say?
I said he didn't try you, did he?
No. And so, because, I mean, I know how many confirmed kills I have. I know, and he was like, no, you were obeying the laws of the land. And two, that was your job. Your chief of commander, your president, Obama is the one. And if anybody, I wish, if anybody ever had any doubt as to how the military, what the military meant to President Obama, there is a picture of him the night that the SEAL Team 6 got Osama bin Laden. Well, during that raid, in the very beginning, one of the helicopters crashed. And the picture of Obama's face, the concern, if anybody, I mean, ever doubted him as a human, I mean, or caring about the military, that man cared about the military. Oh my God. Sometimes we thought he cared about the military more than we cared about us. I mean,
that's interesting.
If the people on that helicopter had not because I mean that whole night, Barack Obama, President Obama was watching through night vision. I mean, he was watching it as it was happening, and that helicopter, when it crashed, and they show his face, and then when he knows that, okay, the dude is dead. I mean, I have a picture on my phone right now of Osama bin Laden's head right after they shot him, because it has gone through battle buddy to battle buddy. Hey, we got him, and so, and then when he got that word that he was dead, when he got the confirmation, mm-hmm. and he went to whatever ball or whatever, the smile on his face, he wanted to tell right then, but he couldn't. It just, I never thought a president cared so much about his people or the military until, one, I was in the military, and two, I witnessed him firsthand. I mean, because it is just, I don't know. Whenever
how do you address the rumors? How do you address the rumors? The whole Osama bin Laden situation, where they said he had already been dead from years before, and this was just a mock type thing for the press to get in to tell the American people.
Because I know the Navy SEAL code, and I know that they would not lie. One, the guy that is coming out and saying that he shot him, that little PDA white boy, Robert O'Neill, I don't believe he did it. One, if you are a Navy SEAL, it is not I shot him. It is we shot him. So I don't believe he did it, because, I mean, you're a Navy SEAL. You don't talk about your missions. You don't talk about shit. So how are you coming forward and you're not worried that you're going to die?
Right.
Marcus Luttrell. No, I don't think his name is Marcus Luttrell. What is that guy's name? Shit, I can't think of his guy's name. But Marcus Luttrell, he was the lone survivor. That man, oh my God, the Navy. Now, there is one part of that the Extraction 13. I believe that's the Benghazi deal. I believe, and I will go to my grave believing, that Hillary Clinton set that up.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just, all those emails, and it's like she knew to, and then you have half of the people on that. Okay, why are you going to send a chopper from World War II that hasn't been flown since World War II in to save? It just doesn't make sense. And you have access to all these Apaches. It just doesn't make sense. And then the video of the funeral for all of our, and she allowed the Iraqi chants
Mm-hmm.
with no translation. But when you go on YouTube and you see that same one with the chant, and it says, and it has the translation, and it's talking about how American soldiers needed to die. American soldiers need to be killed.
Mm-hmm.
How can you, as an American, you have one of the, you are in the White House. You work alongside my president,
Mm-hmm.
but yet you're going behind his back and wanting his soldiers. Okay, we're fighting for your stupid safety,
Mm-hmm.
when in fact we need to be coming and raiding your house and shooting you and your husband.
Mm-hmm.
You want to run for president? Okay, if you couldn't control the presidential dick, how can you control a country?
So true.
I mean,
true.
that was your main job, was to control that presidential dick. You couldn't do it.
That's
so
right.
how are you going to run a country? You know, just
Keep all the bullets out the gun.
On that. But
It should have taken Monica Lewinsky for us to call it the Oral Office. It should have been Hillary doing that every night.
Thank you. Exactly. You know, he's out there running a country. You should be there taking the stress away. Suck at that dick. Hell.
I'll high five you to that.
And she's probably one of them that, oh, no, I ain't going to do that. And don't even think about asking her to swallow. She'd be like, oh my God. No.
But you know, they say she's basically a lesbian anyway, so she's not into that. Well, I mean, she had a kid with him and stuff like that, but maybe there's more to their relationship than we see. I always thought that she might have known about Monica Lewinsky. Like, you know, maybe she was getting a taste of it too.
Yeah, you never know. I don't know. I think Monica Lewinsky had better taste than I would hope. Because that woman right there, ooh, I wouldn't want any of that. No.
In the White House, wow.
I mean,
talk about Secret Service.
Your only job was the presidential dick, and you blew it.
No, she didn't blow it. That's the problem. She blew it because she didn't blow it.
She didn't blow it. That's the whole deal right there. She didn't.
Monica blew it.
I'm too dainty for that bullshit. You better whip that dick out and suck it. Suck it while you're going down the road. Shit.
Make sure to check out the boldest blog at LanceScurv.com and follow Scurv on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under LanceScurv.